Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the English news from Djibouti channel. Here are the title of our edition tonight. And the presidents, the head of state, shared the third meeting of the Council of Ministers today. On continental news, Macron and Merkel sign a Franco-German agreement. Welcome. Under the presidency of the head of state, head of the government, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, held on Tuesday this morning the Council of Ministers. 8 questions were on the agenda of this meeting. The Council first deal with the question of 2090 provisional budget of the partial guarantee fund of Djibouti credits. For more details, let's follow this report.
En ce jour, mardi 22 janvier 2019, s'est tenue la 3e séance du Conseil des ministres sous la présidence de son Excellence Ismail Omar Guelleh, président de la République et chef du gouvernement.
The third meeting of Ministers' Council has been held this morning under the chairmanship of the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. The following 8 bills were on the agenda. First bill. The Economy and Finance Minister presented a draft decree on the provisional Djibouti Partial Credit Guarantee Fund budget for 2019. The Credit Guarantee Fund is a specialized financial institution with legal autonomy. Its mission is to contribute to economic development and the promotion of a private sector and a network of small and medium-sized enterprises or industries in our country. The estimated budget for 2019 is 16 million. Second bill. The Minister of the Budget presented a draft decree allocating a plot of land of 8 hectares for the benefits of the rail company. This plot of land is intended to be a hotel complex. Third bill. The Minister of Equipment and Transport presented a draft decree established the functioning and a power of Commission of Inquiry into the Civil Aviation Accident and Serious Incident with the establishment of the said Commission. The purpose is to elucidate the causes and contributing factors of the accident or incident and to undertake preventive measures based on aviation safety recommendation. Fourth bill. The Minister of Equipment presented a draft decree laying down the procedure for the technical investigation of aircraft accident and incident by the bill number 144 of 16 July 2016. The Republic of Djibouti has established an investigation and analysis office to investigate aviation accident and to meet international airport transport requirements. The main reason for the establishment of the investigation analysis office is to secure civil and commercial flights by making them safer while relying on aviation safety and security recommendation. The implementation of a procedure for the investigation of aircraft accident and incident by this order will enable the Bureau to meet the public authorities' expectation in terms of air transport safety. This procedure sets out the various stages of an investigation as well as the modalities and other parameters to be respected and requires the various state and non-state institutions to inform the Bureau of any accident.
During this Council Minister, the meeting continued with a review of a project on the recruitment and training of inspectors from the Bureau of Investigation and Analysis. And finally, the 8th questions from the Minister of Muslims Affairs and Culture and Waqf Property. For more detail, let's follow the second part.
Toujours sur proposition du ministre de l'Équipement et des Transports, un projet d'arrêté portant.
Fifth bill. Always from the Ministry of Transport, a draft order on the condition for the recruitment and training of the Bureau of Investigation and Analysis inspectors in the performance of the task of the Bureau of Analysis. This order sets out the condition for the recruitment and training of inspectors of the required personnel must meet the following conditions: having aeronautical knowledge and have completed university studies in the field of aeronautics, have extensive practical experience in the technical field of aviation, and have developed the skills of technical investigation, who have worked in one of the aeronautical professions such as a pilot, aeronautical engineering, aircraft technician, and aircraft maintenance, air traffic controllers. Sixth bill. The Ministry of National Education presented a draft decree defining the recruitment procedure for the head teachers. Indeed, the President's draft decree is in line with the logic of the Ministry of National Education, which is constantly seeking to modernize the management structure and aims to define the recruitment procedure for the management staff of technical and vocational secondary schools. With the implementation with this new system, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training aims to improve the career planning of teachers and the quality of managers of head teachers for the better management of schools. 7th Bill. The Ministry of Higher Education and Research has presented a draft decree granting accreditation. Higher National Diploma in Accounting and Administration, SCA. These are the following training courses: Higher National Diploma in Assistant Manager of Business, Higher National Diploma in Transport, Logistics and Transit, and finally in Accounting and Organization Management. This accreditation is granted for a period of 2 years. 8th Bill. The Minister of Muslim Affairs and Poverty Waqf presented a draft decree approving the provisional budget of the Copyright Office. The estimated budget of the Copyright Office amounts to 119 million to 677,338 francs.
After meeting the different members of the government and the head of institution, the German delegation headed by the mayor of Kalesh Ruche Mintrip, mayor city of the Federal Republic of Germany, met this afternoon the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed. The meeting provided an important to discuss issues of common interest, the development of bilateral cooperation and ways to find new opportunities for cooperation, the geothermal development project, as well as the partnership between the University of Djibouti and the University of the region, and the partnership between the two town halls were at the center of discussions at the Prime Minister's level. The meeting took place in the presence of the Ambassador of Djibouti in Germany, Mr. Aden Mohamed Leita, and the Ambassador of Germany to Djibouti, Mrs. Anke. The German delegation includes experts and scientists specialized in the field of energy. The technical advisors of the Prime Minister, Mr. Ali Silai and Mr. Hassan Mohamed Kamil, took part in this meeting. On the other hand, the Minister of Human and Transport also received the delegation of Germany led by the Ambassador of Djibouti, Mr. Aden Mohamed Leita. Also present at this meeting was Mrs. Anke, Ambassador of Federal Republic of Germany to Djibouti. The delegation headed by Dr. Frank of the region in the Federal Republic of Germany was an expert in the urban mobility. The discussion that were reached in exchange mainly concerned the experience on both sides and urban transport and how the city of Djibouti could benefit from the best practice of the city of the German city in terms of urban mobility and the ways to further strengthen bilateral economic cooperations. Minister of Foreign Affairs participated in Brussels at the first meeting of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the African Union and the European Union. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, participated today in Brussels on the agenda in the first meeting of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the African Union and the African Union, presided by the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Federic, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Rwanda, Richard, as well as many other countries, commissioners of the European Union and the African Union. This ministerial session focused on monitoring commitment to more coordinated approach to ensure multilateralism and effective cooperation between the two continents, as mentioned in the 2070 Abidjan Declaration, namely political aspect, peace, security, and governance. Also, economic aspect, trade, investment, as well as economic integration. The first conference of intellectuals between China and Djibouti Corporation ended yesterday at the Institute of Diplomatic Studies. The early works began on Sunday. This exchange of ideas with a view to strengthening the relations of cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and the People's Republic of China was the epicenters of the conference. These discussions focused on the issues of Djiboutian potential, including industrializations, its economic growth, and renewable energy, and above all, its positions in this part of Africa. On the other side, the Chinese intellectuals have shown a convergence between the 2035 vision on the great project One Belt and Road, in other words, the Silk Road. The director of the Diplomatic Institute, Mr. Musa Ali Megag, granted us he stressed the development strategies between China and Djibouti Corporation in the framework of the initiative Belt and Road and the Vision Djibouti 2035 make bilateral cooperation even more fruitful. Yassin Al-Mibouh, the ministers of the ambassadors present his credentials as ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Republic of Zambia with a residence in Kenya. The day before, the ambassador was received by the Zambian Minister of Foreign Affairs for the delivery of the copy of the same letters. The accreditation ceremony against the Zambia presidents, Mr. Yassin Al-Mibouh affirmed the will of the Republic of Djibouti and its president, Mr. Ismail Margel, to further strengthen bilateral relations in the political fields, economic and social relations which exist between the two countries. A seminar on maritime facilitation was started this morning by the experts of the International Maritime Organization in close collaboration with the directors on maritime affairs and the Ministry of Transport. This seminar brought together the entire port community, namely the port authorities, the motors agencies, and the BAF police. The aim of this seminar is to set up the ALFP conventions to facilitate international maritime traffic signed in 1965. The main objective of the conventions are to avoid unnecessary delays in maritime traffic, to assist the cooperation between government, and also to ensure the highest possible uniformity in formalizing and other procedures. The convention notably reduced the number of declarations that may be required by the public authorities. This seminar was attended by the Director of Maritimes, Mr. Ali Mirah Shihim, and the French expert Mr. Fabien of the International Maritime Organizations. And now let's move on continental news. At 4 months of the European election, Mrs. Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron signed this Tuesday treaty to strengthen the Franco-German relationship and send a message of support for the European constructions. The treaty, the agreement entailed in German must complete the Code Elysee signed in 1963 between General de Gaulle and Adenauer, which materialized the Franco-German reconciliation after the war. It provides for a convergence of economic, foreign, and defense policies of the two countries' cooperation on cross-border region and a joint parliamentary assembly composed of 100 French and German deputies. Here we finish this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.